And we're back.
Back.
Welcome to the Cavalry, everybody. It's good to see my good friend, Johnny Beaner.
It's so good to see Andrew Slater staring right back at me through the Zoom camera. We have fun. We have fun.
Best day of the week.
Oh, I know.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I feel like tired. I drove a ton since we last saw each other. We went to Montana and back.
Ooh.
With Ginger and Heidi's mom and Heidi.
How far is the drive? Or how long is the drive?
It's like 10, like, I don't know, 9 hours, I guess, 9.5. We're going slow.
That's a haul.
Yeah, it's a haul. And we did it. We broke on the way out there. We broke it up and we stayed in like Coeur d'Alene. And on the way back, we just went straight through.
Do you guys drive? Do you like to do it during the day or night when you do that? Or you're not a night driver, right?
No, during the day. But it's hard to get everybody going. Like, when it's me, I can get up and go. But, when it's the crew, it's like, I was like, I want to leave.
You mean when women are involved? Is that what?
Look, this podcast, I think we're pretty open.
We're trying to get canceled.
We're 21st century. 21st, is it the 21st? I always get that confused.
The 20th century?
It's
no, the 1900 was the 20th century.
Yeah.
So we're in the 21st century.
Right. Okay. So we're 20th.
I'm also highly educated on this podcast.
First century fellas. But let's just be real here. Like Heidi, my wife, she uses Ginger. She's like, well, yeah, it takes forever because she's got so much stuff and we have to pack all the diaper bag and make sure she has a snack and make sure she has, enough wipes and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's all a smoke screen because I swear on my life, it's still Heidi. That's still the one that's holding up the show.
Yeah.
But whatever. So we got going as early as we could, but we still didn't get back to Portland till like 8:30, 9 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
Did a little night driving. I thought of you last night though, because then I had a gig down in like Southern Oregon last night, and you totally would have driven back after. I guarantee it. I was done by like 9, and it's like a 3.5 hour drive. So you staying in the hotel, or are you driving back?
Oh, I mean that exact scenario just happened to me.
And you drove back.
I didn't plan it. I was like, you know what? I got a nice hotel. Aaron, I'm going to stay in Iowa. It's only 3 hours away. That'll be a nice chance for me to relax. And she's like, that's weird. I was like, what are you, suspicious?
Well, now that's the problem. Look what you've created. Anytime now you stay the night, she's going to get suspicious because it's like he never stays.
It's like, what? Why? And it's close. But I was like, I just want to relax away from everything. And she's like, okay, whatever. And then the show got over and I was like, I'm just going to go home. I'd rather go home. So I drove home. I got home at, 1 or whatever. And then I woke up in my bed.
I did this show last night. The hotel was like fine. It was at a casino though, one of these native casinos, and it's a really nice resort. It's like a hotel, casino resort, and you can tell they put a lot of money into it. And I go to check in, and that's like the one trade-off with a lot of these like casino gigs, especially in the Northwest, is they're never good shows. But you're like, They have a pretty fancy, they usually have the money to have a pretty fancy resort, and you get a really nice room. So you're like, well, I'll get a free meal and a nice room and make a couple bucks, and the show will suck, but it's just my art. Who cares? And
it's just what I've decided to do with my life.
Just dedicated all my time and my entire adult life too, but whatever.
Yeah. As long as the hotel room's nice.
At least I can smoke in there. That's good. But I show up to check in and she's like typing away, By the way, do you just get so, I don't know if my brain has been fried by like cell phones and stuff or attention span, but I can't stand it. And that moment from when they're like, whether it's the rental car counter or a hotel check-in or an airline, if you have to do something, just the second you hand over, like you're done, like you've said your name and you've given your credit card and ID, right?
Yep.
I get so bored like in
Oh
the,
yeah.
like I'm like, this is, it could be 30 seconds, and I'm like, come on, I'm like literally like scrolling through my phone, this poor woman, and it's like I'm like I'm posting things on Facebook or whatever. Well, that's
You're
how
like,
like
fuck Fairfield in, get your shit together.
that's how ADD my brain has become from these dumb phones. It's like I can't take even that moment of just
Oh,
like standing
I
around
so
waiting while they clickety clack on the computer.
can I tell you this just happened? This is that gig. I check. They gave you a hotel. I go check in, and she's like, I gave her the name. She's like, okay, I need a credit card, and I was like, oh, there should be one on file. And she's like, there's nothing here on file. I was like, oh God. So I'm like, okay, well, let me call. So I step aside, call. A charter bus full of military people pulls up, a line out the
Oh
door.
my god.
And I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
oh, I texted Aaron. I was like, I'm fucking pissed. This is bullshit.
You should have just cut in line.
I did. Well, I did. I talked to the guy. He's like, yeah, I talked to Lisa and it should be there. I talked to her. We did a trade. And so like someone got done. I kind of cut in. I was like, oh, sorry. Are you Lisa? She's like, no. And I was like, um, he said talk to Lisa. She's like, there is not a Lisa that works here. So I was like, all right. And I just got out of line again. I was like, God damn it. So then I told him, I was like, I texted him, I was like, she said there's no Lisa that works here. There's a long line. And I was like, can you just call? Because there's a big line and I can't. And he was like, okay, I'll call. So then I see her, the phone rings. She gets done checking someone in. Hello, Fairfield Inn, please, can you hold? Okay, great, thanks. Puts him on hold, processes the entire line, the entire line. It gets done. I actually got in the line. I was still in front of like the last 3 or 4 military people. It gets to my turn, and I was like, he said he called, and she was like, oh my God, I forgot. She picks up and she's like, hello, thank you for holding. And then they sorted it out. But I was like, oh, good God, I just need to take my dump in the hotel room.
I know. Yeah, that line is so slow, like, because that's the other thing is when you're checking into a hotel, you're never anticipating a line.
Right.
If you see even one person in front of you, you're just like, what
Yeah, I'm going to
what
another hotel.
what is
This
this, rush hour? You know what I mean? And then the rental car. Oh my god, rental cars are torture because you're just like, you can hear the interaction ahead of you, and every
Mhm.
person takes so long because they have to upsell them on it. Like, you want the insurance? And they're like, I don't. And I'm just screaming, no, you don't want you'll fill the gas tank up yourself. You don't want the gas. Like, I'm just like
You're like
begging
George
them.
Clooney and Up in
Yeah,
the Air with all these amateur travelers.
yeah. Oh, it's the worst. But that happened to me. I had to rent a car to go do this gig because Heidi and I share a car and she needed the car, So I went to the Portland airport, take the train, takes forever because they're doing construction, and then get to the counter, and I'm like, I'm like, there's an old couple, and we're like neck and neck, walking,
Yeah.
but they have suitcases, and I only got my backpack 'cause I'm just going for one night. So I like start walking faster, and I get in front, and we're going to the same counter, and I'm like, oh, and I get in front of them, and I'm so proud of myself. And then I get to the front of the line, and they're like, oh, we don't see your reservation. And I'm like, God damn. So I look for my number, and I was at the wrong counter.
Oh God.
It was dollar instead of pay less. And I'm like, aren't you guys all the same? I mean,
Right.
when you go back there, it's all just one. You're all like, there's
Mhm.
one, you're just changing uniforms. It's all the same cars, and I don't believe that you're even different companies.
Well, because that's the thing. Sometimes you are like, yeah, I'm here for. They're like, are you with Hertz or Budget? And they do both. They're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
great.
They're
It's
like,
like,
whatever. Are you Avis? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter. And they're like, hello, I'm right here. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had to go to the person
right,
with the shirt who
right.
matched my reservation. So it's very confusing. The rental car business is ridiculous. But anyway, so I was going to this casino resort, and I was like, all right, let me get my fancy room. And they same thing. She's checking, looking. She doesn't see. She's like, oh, oh, and she goes, oh, you're actually staying at our other location. Don't worry, it's just across the highway. past the Burger King, past the truck stop. We
Oh,
have a hotel. So it's like their crappier hotel
that's not connected to the
that's not
casino.
connected. So now it's like, I was like, where's the show? It's like, oh, the show's right around the corner here. We're really looking forward to.
You're like,
Oh,
oh,
show
I'm gonna
business.
cancel this gig. This
I
is
really felt like I was like, God, and of course, I'll tell you the book or post show banner, but it lines up.
that hotel. I'm sure that's the hotel that they send they comp all their high rollers. Ooh, thank you for spending your money.
Yeah.
Past the Burger King,
Right,
we
right,
have
right.
a
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like, what is the purpose of that? Like, are they really 100% sold out of the nice place? And so, or is it just like a special reminder that you are not worth the good hotel
right.
because it costs them nothing, you
Yep.
know? So it's like, we just want to let you know we don't value you that much. It's
Yeah,
like we're going out of our way to show you how little we value you.
that's true. Hey, so I was thinking when you say yeah, the casino can you think of a casino gig that is
Good?
a good gig that you're like,
No.
ooh,
No. There's one on the West Coast here in on the Oregon coast, and the room, like the hotel is not like fancy, but you get a room with a view of the ocean, and it's like perfect scenery. And then the show itself is a big show. It's like a monthly, it's paid tickets, you have to buy tickets for it. They build it up a lot, and it's like a pretty good, I mean, the audience is still like kind of, you know, but it's a pretty good show, and it pays great. So that's like the only one I can think of.
okay.
And I forget the name of the whatever it is, but they're all, it's funny because they're always in it, like, doesn't matter where they are. It's like they've all talked to each other like on the worst way to run a show, and they've all agreed like, let's do it this way.
Yep.
Because they always look the same. They're always like promoted with the same crappy graphic, and like
Yep.
they're always it's always the same sort of contact who like seems oblivious that comedy's even going to happen that night. It's weird. It's just so similar. It's always free. It's always just whoever wants to show up and sit
Yep.
down. There's not even anybody like checking anyone in or out of the showroom.
Yep.
It's very strange.
They want you to be done at a certain time so they can get everyone out to back on the
Which is
floor.
never a problem for me. The guy
Right.
last night, it was like, I was like, when do you want the show to be over? And because that's how I ask it now. This is how lazy I've become. You used to ask like, how long do you want me to do? It's like, no, because if I ask that, then it's like I have to do that time no matter what.
Right, but if they
Now
start late,
yeah, or if the feature goes long or whatever
yep.
happens, I'm like, when do you want the show to be over? Is my question
Yeah.
now. And then
Yeah.
I just like, well, I'm gonna. And he's like, oh, usually the feature does like, 25 or so minutes, and then the headliner can do like 45 or an hour. And I was like, okay, 45 minutes sounds good.
Yeah.
But it actually ended up, it was one of the more fun. I had more fun with it than I usually do. So I extended a little. But they also do this poor thing to the where they have no intro for the opener, no, and that just
Mhm.
music starts, and he
Or don't
literally,
they have like a guy on the mic in the back be
no,
like,
no,
no?
not, and I would have done the back mic introduction, but they didn't even ask
Oof.
me or offer. And so then he literally tells her, her name was Aurora. He tells her, yeah, once the music starts, you can just go up there whenever. Okay,
Uh,
really? I can.
whenever I want? You're giving me
Whenever.
that
He's like,
freedom?
I told her, I was like, I'd wait to the end of that song. You milk that song for all it's worth. That's a good minute and a half shaved off your time. But no, it actually was fine. But it's just was, they're just always bad in the same way. And it was open to the casino.
Yeah,
So like
that's the worst. Where it's
the
like,
the
should we
the
make sure there's no wall between? No, we want them to hear the dinglings from all the
somebody
machines.
hit a $1,500 jackpot during my set, and like they made like an announcement, like it was louder
Mhm.
than my microphone or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would have made more money if I had sat playing video poker where that guy was, and I am on stage here. It's great to be reminded of that as you're performing.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
Oh.
something, I think what it is like those places are so soulless, those casinos, because it's just a very predatory. Everyone smoke. It's like the last place you can still smoke inside. Just
Mhm.
like a very sad place. So it's hard to have like a fun, creative, energetic environment because everybody's had a like life kind of beating them down, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It feels like a some sort of prison of their own making or something. It's odd.
Did you ever do Pachanga in Temecula?
Yeah. Oh, woof. Wait. No.
Was your girlfriend? Whoa.
That's
Well, that one's like it's a separate. I mean, it's in the casino, but it's at least a
yeah.
separate entity where it's like, okay, this is the show, and they have to have, and I think they have to have tickets, or maybe they have to have tickets, but everyone gets a ticket for free. I don't.
Yeah. But even that's a difference. Like I was telling the booker, I was like, honestly, if they could just like have to have reservations
Mm-hmm.
and just have to have that much commitment to it
Yeah,
rather
so they're
than
not
just
wandering in
somebody
and out.
like sucking a cigarette, wandering in backwards, doing a full 360 in the middle of the showroom, wondering what's going on and looking straight at you, just staring at you like, what? Can anyone go up? I want to go up next. I got something to say.
Sir,
I
I'm
had, oh my
professional.
God.
What?
So I think it was like there was a sports bar in the place, but the show wasn't in the sports bar. The show was some sort of the showroom was like I forget what they called it, some sort of lounge. But you could tell the wait staff, there's a bartender and a server, and they obviously have to go back and forth from the sports bar because they had to wear big referee jerseys.
Yeah.
Which like if you're a sports bar, you don't the referee you can drop that as it looks so stupid. It's humiliating for the servers. They don't need to wear a referee.
Yeah.
Foot Locker already claimed the referee shirt. You can't do it now. That would be my advice.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the show and these, it's not a comedy club, so they're not like they don't know a lot of the intricacies of how stand up is very fragile. So the
Yeah.
waitress, she's working hard, but she's just walking by, just yelling at people in the middle of the show, just, you know, taking up. It's just very distracting, right?
Yeah.
And I don't, like I said, I don't blame her. It's not, there's no one telling her how it's supposed to work. And then I was talking, I have some bit now, I'm trying about my daughter, and she hears me say something in the setup about it's like it's complicated trying to raise a daughter in this current environment, and she goes, fuck. Just like
Who
super,
said that?
the waitress, she just as she's walking by like so loud. And then I was like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say fuck on this show. I can't remember if there's something in the contract about it or not. And then as she's walking away, I'm like, what? Why? What? She's like, I have 3 daughters. I'm just saying, yeah, you're right. Fuck. Like, oh, okay, great. Just like completely hijacked the show with her F bomb right in the middle of the
God.
setup. But, you know,
Yeah.
it's comedy, baby.
That's
Show
comedy.
business.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
So yeah, I think that's that was gonna be my pre-show discussion. I can't remember what it actually was, but that's what was doing. And then I drove back today because I did stay the night in the hotel room because I don't like to drive at night because I'm a wuss. I realized that's what it is. I was like, I'm like a legitimately now. I didn't think I was, but now I like might be like, I just don't want to drive at night.
Is it because you
Kind of
like?
scared.
I'm curious. Is it because you don't enjoy it? Is it because you're scared you're gonna
I don't
be
enjoy it.
dangerous,
I
or
don't
because
enjoy
you
driving
get
ever,
tired?
but like yeah, I'm scared of getting tired and falling asleep and crashing. I'm very scared of deer. Like
Yeah.
like and then this wasn't on a highway where there would have been any deer, I don't think.
Yeah.
But going to Montana, and we took a lot of back highways and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a deer run out a couple times, and I had to like really slow down, and
Yeah.
if it had been night, definitely could have plowed one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just like, and I'm just very aware of like the mortality of driving, like more than ever. Like I know how like often people die in car accidents.
Yeah.
Like happens all the like it's like the number one of the very top ways that you're gonna die if you die.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law is very like very very nervous passenger, so she's like a lot of like, ooh, I wouldn't pass this truck. Oh, a lot of curve. Oh, this is a curve. That's this 45 on this curve, you know. And she's from Montana, so she's like can be the authority. Oh, this road is dangerous. But she was just telling me a dead person's every. Oh yeah, someone blew through this and died. It's just like a tragedy after tragedy. And
Just tour guide.
Montana puts up these little white crosses wherever
Oh,
someone
okay.
has
Yeah.
died, and she, I mean, there's like everywhere you go, there's white cross. You're like, how do they have any people left? It's like the most deadly highways in the system in
Is
America.
this a cemetery? No, that's just the shoulder of the.
That's just, yeah, they should do something about that curve, dead man's curve.
They start using the crosses as like a bumper rail.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you take the materials you're using to make these white crosses and use them as guardrails? Might be a more uh efficient use of your
Oh God.
time.
Oh,
But anyway, I guess
that
that's
that
what it is.
that reminds me. So this was like, I wouldn't say a fight, but this was a heated moment. We're driving, family, we're driving to dinner. We're on a road on the way there, and I'm going a little fast. And Aaron just goes, "Hey, the limit's 35 on this road." And I don't know if I was going like 47 or 48, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, she said, "Oh, the speed limit's 40 or 35." I was like, "Okay, I don't want to have the conversation we have every time." So I just slow down to 35, and I'm driving the speed limit. And she turns to me and she's like, "I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing." Like with a big smile on her face, like I'm trying to piss her off by going exactly. And I was like, "What? You told me the speed limit." She's like, "I said that because there's cops on this road, and you're going like 12 over." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." And so I slowed down to what the speed limit was. And she's like, "Yeah, I know." And I was like, "This is a trap. There is nothing." And I was like, "What?" And I'm like, I'm kind of like heated. I'm like, What can I do?" And she's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay,
Oh yeah,
cool.
that
All
better.
right, all right." And
Yeah,
that's when
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"This
yeah.
is a trap. There is no response I could possibly give." Ooh, yikes! I'm overreacting.
Like you were supposed to know you should have slowed down to like 3 over. Like, don't be a nutcase. Don't go actually
Let's
the
go
speed
the
limit.
speed limit.
That is my least favorite argument that my wife and I have is like the tone, like who started the tone first, you know? Because I'll be like, whoa, why are you getting upset? She's like, whoa, why did you take that tone? It's like, well, why did you take that tone? And then it's like, who originally had the tone,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
AI should figure that out. There should be some sort of like thing on your phone that can detect tone.
Right.
You're taking a tone, like they should be able to roll back and see who got it first. Because
Yeah. Who went
I
up in
swear that's like
pitch
our
earlier?
longest arguments are always about like who was pissy first and everything else. Well, I was just being pissy because I thought you were, because you took a tone with me. So that's why I took a tone.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more. I have one more pre because we didn't. I don't think we talked about. I didn't tell you about April Fool's Day, right?
Oh no.
So the kids were like, Edie and Duncan were like, "Hey, Mom, is today April Fool's Day? Is that the day where you do pranks?" He's like, "Yeah." And they're like,
Good.
"Oh, okay." And then they start whispering to each other, and they're like, go off in the other room, and we're like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And then we're like, "Oh, this will be funny." And then the doorbell rings. So I go to the door, and there's a box on the front porch. I was like, "Oh, babe, did we get a package? And it's, it's an old Amazon box, scotch taped all shittily shut. They're like watching. I was like, oh, I'll get it. And I bring it in and put it on the counter. And it's like a big box. So I bring it into the counter and there's something in it. And I was like, oh, babe, did you order something? She's like, I don't know. I don't remember ordering anything. I was like, oh, I got an Amazon package. And I start opening it and I look in and I can see it was just it was a pair of my Air Jordans that they grabbed from the basement and put in a box and put on the porch, like that was the prank. And so I open, I'm like, oh, babe, did you get me a early Father's Day gift? I see the Air Jordan symbol. And she's like, no, I don't think I did. And then before I could like open it all the way and take it out, Edie walks up to me with a spray bottle of water and just kind of sprays me twice in the face and goes, prank job. And then Duncan, I watch as his face just fucking drops. And he was like, we said we were going to do that. And he punches her as hard as he could in the shoulder. Oh my God. I lost. I was like, Duncan, no, because I saw him coming from the other side. I was like, Duncan, no, don't. Duncan, take a deep breath. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't do it. And I just watched as he wailed. And I was like, God damn it. Go to your room. It was like this lighthearted fun. Oh, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, Dad flew off the deep end. Duncan flew off the deep end. Let's all go to our corners.
The most innocent prank ever gone completely wrong.
Oh,
well, I just love it was all an elaborate setup just to spray you in the face with a water bottle. Like you could have just cut out everything else.
Right.
But wait, why was Duncan was mad because he thought they were both
because he was waiting for me to take the shoes out and be like, oh, what's in here, and open the box and see that, oh, these are my shoes. And all I did was be like, hey, I think I see the Air Jordan symbol.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
She's just so eager to do the catchphrase.
Yeah.
She like turned to a camera that wasn't there and like, you've been pranked. Bah, 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 bah.
Gotcha.
And she gets punched.
He was like, we can't do it. You're ruined it. Now they know we're doing pranks. And we can't do pranks. They know we're pranking. And then,
you were like,
7 minutes later, the doorbell rings again and it's another box.
Hey, but I hate to tell you this, but you sort of tipped your hand when you asked me and your mom if it's April Fool's Day today.
If that's the day people do pranks.
Yeah, that's right. Is that the day people do pranks on unsuspecting moms and dads? Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, that's what I got. Did you do
How long is the punishment? How
Ginger didn't prank you? She didn't get Ginger you?
No pranks from anybody. That's I don't remember. I don't know if I've ever had someone pull an April Fool's, not one that I can remember, like an actual prank that I can't think of any. And I've never been like interested in it. I don't know. I've never been like wanted to prank someone else. I find the whole thing, because a lot of it's just like because you see these companies and businesses do April Fools now, and they're like they're just lie. They just say a lie.
Yep.
And then people get mad. They hope they trick people enough to get them mad, and then they go, no, we were lying. And then
instead of April Fools,
like, oh, we lied. And then everyone's like, oh, I guess we shouldn't have been mad. We were stupid to be mad because they were wrong.
Oh, we shouldn't have trusted.
I don't love April Fools, but I like the way your kids do it.
The only thing I could think of is I don't know, it's even a prank, but our friend of the show, Jason Russell, loves to show people his balls. I'm sure he talked about it on the episode where he's got pictures of his balls on his phone.
It came up.
Any morning radio. Hey, did I ever show you my boys? And then he shows them. And I don't need to see his red weird balls. What?
On morning radio, he does this.
Well, yeah, that's what he does to the DJs, like off. That's like how he endears himself.
Oh yeah.
Pranks, like
build a rapport.
All these DJs, they're fun loving, they're funny, loose.
Yeah,
they'll dig in. I mean, he'll do it to anyone. Comics he's working with. So he
Personally.
does it to me all the time, and I'm just like, you gotta stop. And so there was a period of time where I would just send him, I would text him pictures of my shit, and that sort of stopped it. That was a deterrent for him to. But what I did was, I think maybe I did tell the story. So I took a picture of my balls hanging out of the zipper hole of my pants, and I had it printed on, I don't know, Snapfishers. So I had an actual physical copy of it.
Well, how did you get it printed?
Snapfish, or one of those online where you just send them the file and then they mail you your
So
prints.
someone else had to look at the
I'm sure someone
photo.
saw. I assume it's just a machine that just prints and cuts,
Uh,
and I don't know.
I hope.
Yeah, well,
All right.
either way, so I get it, and I had photoshopped on the file, gotcha or something like that underneath my balls. So I put it in an envelope, and I did my catch me if you can skills, where I took the logo of the Hyenas Comedy Club, because that was like his home club, printed out the logo, and then I taped an envelope over the logo, ran it through the printer again, so it looked like stationery from the comedy club.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mailed it to him. So he's like, oh, yeah, I got something in the mail from the comedy club I work. And he pulls it out, and it's a picture of my balls. So that was my prank for him. But the one thing that happened when must have been when I was living in LA, I had that picture in a notebook, just in between pages for a long time, that I would write in. And one time it just fell out when I was in line at Jack in the Box. It just fell onto the floor face up as I was in line. And I just had to quick pick that up and stick it back in the binder.
How embarrassing for you in front of your friends at Jack in the Box. I'll imagine the upstanding fine crew that was with you at the LA Jack in the Box. There's something depressing, like, like fast people listening to this. I don't know where everybody is, people are scattered all over the country, I guess. But if you there's something about living in LA, the fast food places in the city, it's a much sadder experience than like a suburban fast food. Like a Jack in the Box on the road, just a random one off a highway in like
Yeah.
Champaign, Illinois or something. It's probably like well lit, nice, clean.
Yeah.
The city Jack in the Box, like big city, New York, LA Jack in the Boxes are not places you want to sit in and just like have your meal. You got to get the food and get the hell out of there. I
Well, yeah, you
remember,
just kind of feel like, how many homeless people made this booth their home for a while?
yeah, there's a Wendy's in Hollywood. There's a couple of Wendy's in like, there's always a Wendy's near where I lived. It's one of the
But that's why
apartments I had.
that's, yeah,
Yeah. I would tell the real estate broker, I gotta be within shouting distance of my Wendy's. And the one in Hollywood, I remember it was so weird. And I would go there all the time still. Didn't stop me. But there would be a guy who would bring a desktop computer, and he would take out a full and he would just chill in there like a Starbucks, except instead of a laptop, he had a full hard top
Oh my
square,
God.
and then the monitor.
Not even a flat screen monitor.
No, yeah. No, it might have been a flat screen monitor. Yeah. And I think he was playing video games or something. But and then the other Wendy's when I lived in like East Hollywood, it had a security guard, and I was like, that's not good. A bouncer at Wendy's. All right. Well,
do we get into it?
Let's get into it.
All right. Who's up first?
Well, I can go first. Actually, because it's fast food related. So and I feel like this might
You know that the chances of mine being fast food related are like 9 out of 10.
I shouldn't
have
it's not,
but it's not. It's not.
I shouldn't have stolen this transition from you. First of all, this is tangentially related to what I'm about to say, but Chipotle, I go to Chipotle a lot.
Yes.
Like one of the few like fast food places my wife will also go. And there's something about Chipotle where they never have their fountain soda situation right. They're either out of something or that it's like backwards. I like the last one I went to on our way back from Montana, it was like the Coke was doing Diet Coke and the regular Coke was doing Coke. They had it switched. And I remember in LA that would happen all the time. Like something would be out, or you do it and it's just all club soda coming out, no flavoring or whatever. Like there was always Chipotle. I don't know what it is, and if anyone else out there feels this way, I would love to hear from them. But there's something wrong with the way they're teaching the Chipotle employees to do the soda fountains. This is my belief. Okay. But that's not what I need backup on.
Well, then before you move on, I wonder if it's like Starbucks where they do it on purpose, like how they misspell people's names so that people talk about it on purpose.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
I've never heard of that, and they would lose a customer. If I went to a place and I got Diet Coke out of their Coke, I'd not going there anymore.
Yeah, well, I literally would like go in LA. I remember I'd go, and then their Diet Coke would just be out. They just put a sticker on it and go out. Like I wouldn't have bought the soda, so then I'd have to go back and go, nah, give me a refund. I'm not paying for this if I'm not. Like, you literally don't have like the most popular
Give
soda.
me $1.11 back out of the register.
Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait in line behind this. Oh, great! 50 army guys just showed up. But so here's what I need backup on, and I think it's gonna be very controversial.
Oh boy.
But you know those machines, the soda machines, like the Coke machines that are like
Computer
the
screen?
yeah, the touch screen, and you can do any flavor.
Yes.
Those suck. Get those
Oh
out of
boy.
here. Don't
Well,
need
yeah, I
them.
need to hear I need to hear your justification because I get excited when I see them.
Okay. Here's my justification. First of all, no, maybe there are people out there doing like, I want a vanilla cherry Sprite with a shot of lemon, ginger, you know what. But most people I know just want the drink that they want. They either want a Coke,
Like
a
a
Sprite,
Coke.
Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper, whatever. That not a lot of people I know are actually putting all this weird fruit. Like if I want a juice, right, I just get a juice or whatever.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's worse. So now you're doing this thing, and it's like it's impossible for it to have the proper ratios. It's not taste as good as like just a straight, like if you go to 7-Eleven and you just put it under the Diet Coke thing and it gets you straight Diet Coke. That's a better Diet Coke than the one you're getting where it's like whatever the hell's going on up
Well,
top.
you think you're getting leftover orange droplets?
I think I'm getting leftover shit. Yeah, I think I'm getting all the flavors being mixed together. It can't be good, and it's all coming out of the same spout. So it's like it's being infected with all the other inferior sodas.
Can I tell you what I do? And maybe this is my OCD, but because I'll get vanilla, cherry, Coke. That's what I get. That's my go-to.
So
you're not going to get that at another machine, but you get that, but I will run it for a good 3 seconds before I put my cup under.
It's very
clear
smart.
the lines. Got to clear the lines.
It's very intelligent. See, that's a good tip for me. Maybe that would help me.
You probably
I just don't love
your cup under there before you even hit the button.
So see, you really have thrown me off because you're actually someone who does do the weird flavor.
Well, that's the thing though. Like as you're pointing this out, I'm realizing I get excited because I really like cherry vanilla Coke, which you can get in a bottle. You can get cherry vanilla Coke, at gas stations, but nowhere do they have fountain cherry vanilla Coke other than those machines. I don't know who's using the lime raspberry, but I like the fantasy of having the options.
No. All right. Well, see, you're not all going to be winners, but I'll just say this. When I get if I go to a fast food place or the movie theater and you get your cup and you see the little, I'm like, God damn it. Just have the 6 standards.
Both. I'll give you this. Have both.
Yeah.
Because I can get behind the fact that maybe the Diet Coke or the Coke itself is a little different in those. Just because it's a different machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So give both.
That good mix.
Yeah.
Perfect. Man, I drink too much Diet Coke. I was just thinking about that the other day. Like the other thing is like this thing where I'm trying to cut out like desserts. It just all goes into my Diet Coke consumption just goes through the roof.
Up. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Here's mine. So when you're at, okay, you go to a concert. I don't even know if I don't know how I'm asking for backup. This is just if you agree with this sentiment. You go to concert and you want to take pictures or take a little video, even though sure you're never ever gonna watch it again. And people, you know, there's always the people that are like, can you
Yeah.
be at the moment? You know what? It's 2023. Go fuck yourself. Okay. I want to, yes, I'm fine. Oh, I'm not enjoying the moment.
Right.
How is that affecting you? I'm not blocking your view. I'm not holding it in front of you. It's just like you want everyone to know, oh, I'm living in the moment. I love music. I am
Right.
here. Like, good for you. I want to fucking put this on Instagram or fucking show my son when I get home or fucking whatever the reason.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
like,
and there is something valuable to having that because it's like, sure, you can be like, well, you were there and this is, you're not going to like, and there's probably a better picture out there that you didn't take that you could go reference
right.
later, but you're probably not going to look that up. And then, yeah, every once in a while, I'll go through my phone and look through old pictures and videos. It's nice to have. But also, the
Yeah.
person who's giving you the attitude, they're not in the moment. They're
Right.
distracted by a phone too. It's just not their phone. They're distracted by your phone. Why don't you get in the moment and watch the goddamn show and
Right.
quit looking at the other people in the crowd, whether they're using their phones or not?
Oh man. We went to a Ryan Adams concert for date night and it was awesome. But he played a song. He played I can't remember what it was. I think he played Moon River on the piano. And the guy like in the front row, I could see his phone. It was like tight zoomed in, and I wanted to find him and ask just, hey, can you Bluetooth airdrop that to me? Because I've done that. I was at a Kathleen Edwards concert and she was singing a song. I wore a Kathleen Edwards shirt to the concert, which maybe that's dorky to do, whatever. But in the middle of her song, she pointed at me and she starts like going, yeah, like, hey, I see your shirt. And I was like, hey, that's fucking cool. And so I went to a guy that I know was filming after the concert. I was like, hey, can you Bluetooth that me? And so he Bluetooth, his recording of that song. And so I got it. I was
See,
like, see, that's
that's
great.
great.
Yeah.
I know my friend Brant Tobler. He's been on the show.
Yep.
He used to go when he'd go to concerts or anything. He would just search the hashtag of that event, and then he'd
Yeah.
just find whatever the best picture was, and then post it, and then also post like a whatever selfie he had, so it looked like he had incredible. He would just steal the picture. Everyone, oh my god, you always have the best seats. Oh, you get these amazing pictures.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, yeah, smart guy.
Yeah.
Uh, what's the big Ryan Adams hit? Moon River is not Ryan Adams.
No, that's the cover. He does a lot of covers. In fact, tomorrow morning, he's covered. He covered his big first one was the Taylor Swift album. He covered, but he's covered Nebraska by Bruce Springsteen. He covered Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks. And tomorrow morning, if you're on his mailing list, and he sends these out. They're free if you download them if you're on his list. But the Oasis, what's the story? Morning Glory cover of the whole
That's good.
comes
This is
out
going to
tomorrow.
shock you, but I'm not on Ryan Adams's email
His
list.
mailing list.
Mailing list. Fuck it up.
Oh well.
That reminds me too that you're saying he's doing all those covers, but like forget covers. But this guy, he's a comedian. He used to be in LA. I knew him. We were friends. Then he moved to New York. Robbie Slowick.
Huh.
You know Robbie? I don't know. Anyway, he posted this thing, and it's so true because people love playing joke police. There's nothing like stupid internet people love more than trying to figure out someone stole somebody's joke or
Oh yeah.
someone's like that's
Yeah.
already been done or whatever.
Yep.
And he was like saying how literally there's like songs are about like four things. They're all covering the same, it's about falling in love. It's about remembering what it was like in the summer of some, like one summer.
Yeah.
Like there's only like four types of songs, and sometimes they literally, but no one gives a shit. No one's like, come up, do an original, Do
Yeah.
a song about something we haven't heard about before. Like, forget the music part, but the words are always just about the same: falling in love, falling out of love, breaking up, getting together. No one gets mad about that, you know? That's fine. And they can be, but like if any comedian talks about anything that anybody's ever talked about before, oh, you're stealing that from, you know, Richard Pryor, George Carlin already did. Yeah, well, George Carlin did like 47 hours of stand-up. It's gonna be hard to not touch on anything he touched on.
There's going to be some premise overlap. Yeah.
Yes. So I
Did
think
you?
there's so many ways where it'd be better to be a musician than a comedian.
I saw. Do you know Zoltan?
Yeah, yeah.
He posted it was a while ago. I think it was when he cut his hair, but someone was being joke police, and they sent him a clip. Like they thought he stole a joke, but it was from a clip of himself. What he cut his hair.
Man, that's when you know you made it.
Yeah,
When people are accusing you of stealing your own bits.
yeah.
Because that means you're popular enough in that guy's mind to be like, I remember this joke, but I don't remember whose it, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know the face. I just know the hair length was different. Yeah.
All right. Well, good up.
Good app. Good app.
What, you got anything coming up? I'm gonna plug my shows. I'm gonna be in Boise, Idaho at the end of April. I'm gonna literally look up when it is so I don't get this wrong. April 28th and 29th, the Mad Swede. And then April 27th, I'll be in Pendleton, Oregon. If you know anybody in Pendleton, Oregon, at the Vert Theater.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. April 28th, 29th, I'll be at Goonies. This
Goonies.
place is a joke in Rochester, Minnesota.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Remember to leave a 5-star review if you can. What you need backup on. It'd really help us out. We'd appreciate that. We'll talk about it on the show. And you can join the Patreon to get bonus content, post-show banner, and bonus episodes. We're about to record our movie episode right now. So make sure you're subscribed to Patreon if you want to hear that. That's it. Thank you.
Yes.
Everybody,
Thank you for listening to
the Cavalry.
The Cavalry.